Have you ever noticed that the happiest memories can sometimes be the most painful to remember? You're scrolling through old photos, or a song comes on, or you catch a scent that throws you back and suddenly you're there again. That summer, that person, that version of yourself. And it was good. It was really, really good. But instead of smiling, you feel this ache spreading through your chest. Not because something bad happened, not because it ended badly, but because it was beautiful and it's gone. Here's the strange thing. Sadness makes sense. We understand why painful memories hurt. But why does joy from the past wound us? Why does remembering the best moments of our lives sometimes feel like pressing on a bruise? You think that happy memories would be pure comfort. A mental photograph album you could flip through whenever you need a lift. But the truth is more complicated than that. Because nostalgia isn't just remembering. It's remembering and knowing you can't return. Psychologists call this bittersweet emotion, the simultaneous experience of happiness and sadness. And research shows that nostalgic memories don't just activate the brain's reward centers. They also light up regions associated with loss and longing. Your brain is literally experiencing gain and grief at the same time. But here's what's really happening. You're not just mourning the moment. You're mourning the person you were in that moment. Think about your happiest memory for a second. Really picture it. Now notice something. In that memory, you didn't know it would become a memory. You were just there, present, unselfconscious. You weren't thinking about how good it was while it was happening. You were just living it. And that's what you can never get back. The psychologist Konstantin Sedekaides, who studied nostalgia for decades, found that nostalgic memories aren't actually more positive than non-nostalgic ones. What makes them nostalgic is the distance, the unreachability, the fact that you're separated from that moment by time you can never cross back over. It's not the memory that hurts, it's the gap between then and now. And this is where it gets complex. The better the memory, the wider the gap feels. Here's the thing most people don't realize. When you remember being happy, you're also remembering who you were before everything that came after. You remember yourself before the heartbreak, before the loss, before the compromise, before you learn that some things don't last and some people leave and some dreams have expiration dates. That version of you still exists in the memory, frozen in time, still hopeful, still whole, still unaware of what's coming. And when you look back at them, there's this tenderness, isn't there? And this grief, because you know something they don't. You carry knowledge that would break their heart. Psychologists call this temporal self-discontinuity. The feeling that your past self and present self are almost different people. And the research shows that the more discontinuity you feel, the more intense the nostalgia becomes. You're not just missing the moment, you're mourning the you who lived it. But the truth is, nostalgia hurts most when the present can't measure up to the past. You remember dancing in your friend's kitchen at 2 a.m. laughing so hard you couldn't breathe. And now you're sitting in your apartment scrolling through your phone, and nothing feels that light anymore, nothing feels that easy. You remember that relationship when it was new, when every text made your heart jump, when their hand in yours felt like the answer to a question you've been asking your whole life. And now you're alone, or you're with someone else, or you're with the same person, but it's different now, heavier somehow. The psychologist Christine Bacho found that nostalgia increases during times of stress, transition, or dissatisfaction with the present. Your mind reaches backward when it can't find comfort in the now. And maybe that's the real wound. Not that the past was good, but that it makes the present feel lacking. Here's what's fascinating. Nostalgia research shows that we don't actually remember events as they were. We remember them as we've reconstructed them, smoothed out, soft-focused, with the difficult parts faded, and the golden parts glowing brighter. Your brain is a terrible historian, but an excellent editor. But even knowing this, even knowing that your memory is part fiction, it doesn't make the feeling any less real. Because what you're grieving isn't just what actually happened, you're grieving what that moment meant. The possibility it represented, the feeling of being someone who still believed certain things were possible. And you can never unknow what you know now, you can never go back to that kind of innocence. Some doors close behind us, and no matter how much we want to, we can't open them again. Not because they're locked, but because we're no longer the person who fit through them. But here's the truth that might change how you think about this. The fact that nostalgia hurts means something happened worth hurting over. It means you lived moments so full, so real, so beautiful that your body still resonates with them years later. It means you were loved, or you laughed, or you felt alive in a way that left an imprint. Not everyone has that. Not everyone gets to carry ghosts this lovely. And maybe the ache isn't a sign that something's wrong with you. Maybe it's evidence of something deeply right, that you're capable of beauty, that you're capable of connection, that you haven't become so defended that nothing can reach you anymore. The poet David Whyte wrote, "The antidote to exhaustion is not necessarily rest. The antidote to exhaustion is wholeheartedness." And maybe that's what nostalgia is trying to tell you, that you were whole once, that you gave yourself fully to moments that deserved it. And you still can. So, yes, nostalgia hurts. The happy memories might hurt most of all, not because there's anything wrong with you, but because you're human and humans feel the weight of time, and the loss of who we used to be, and the impossible distance between then and now. But here's what I want you to remember. That younger version of you, the one in the memory, laughing, dancing, loving, hoping, they're not separate from you. They're the foundation you're standing on. Every moment of joy you've ever lived is woven into who you are now. You carry them all with you. The girl who danced in the rain, the boy who stayed up all night talking about everything and nothing, the person who loved so hard it hurt, the you who didn't know what was coming but showed up anyway. They're all still here in your laugh, in your capacity for wonder, and the fact that you can still feel as deeply about anything at all. And maybe that's the real gift of nostalgia, not the memory itself, but the reminder that you contain multitudes, that you've lived fully before, which means you can live fully again. The past is a photograph, yes, but you're not the photograph, you're the person who lived it. And you're still here, still creating moments, still capable of joy that might one day make you ache with its beauty. That's not a curse, that's proof you're alive.